Hello everybody, it's Clooney here, back at it again with another video. This is going to be more of a podcast type thing because I don't really want to edit a whole thing. I'll probably throw some background footage of Smash Brothers or something in the background. But yeah, so yesterday, at the day I'm recording this, so I don't know, Valentine's Day, I have nothing better to do, so I'm going to do a little thing where I talk about all the video games that got announced in this week's Direct for Nintendo, because I really actually kind of care about it, and I think it's interesting. And this will just be based on a list, and there are going to be games that are going to be omitted because I don't really care about them, or they're not really worth bringing up. So yeah, let's get into this. So first off, I want to talk about the opening game that they did, which was Super Mario Maker 2. I don't think anyone was really expecting it as much. I'm pretty sure that everyone thought, oh, well, they're not going to make another one. But I think that this is probably one of the best decisions that they could have made, because, again, allows for people to essentially pick up a game that they might not have gotten to play before, and generally just enjoy another game. And it was a pretty good system seller for the Wii U. It didn't sell a whole lot of systems, but it was a pretty big deal. It was one of the games that the Wii U had that really made it stick out. But overall, it was okay. I liked it. I'll be picking it up again on the Switch. I'll probably like it a lot more on Switch, because the whole problem with the Wii U is that it was the Wii U, and it wasn't very fun to play on the Wii U, so I'll probably enjoy it a lot more on the Switch. Now we have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Didn't really care all that much. Box Boy was neat, but didn't really care again. Smash Ultimate 3.0. Again, I really don't get why they even announced this or showed it off. They showed off like Joker's standing model, I think, or something. But it really wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth the time or the effort to really play, or not play it, but like see that, and just generally speaking, it wasn't very good. Like it was a really nothing announcement. I don't get why they did that. Captain Toad Treasure Trackers DLC pack was announced as well, which is cool. I like Captain Toad as a concept. I really hope that it blossoms into a bigger series, but at the same time, it's also like, I don't really care. It's an old game that I didn't have any like interest in playing before. Still don't have any interest in it, and I'm not going to pick it up. But now for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I'm really big into indie games. I play mostly indie games, single player indie games for that matter. I love them because they're just really fun. They're really enjoyable and usually have a lot more character and personality than most AAA titles. So when I pick up an indie game, it's just like, I see an indie game and I get really excited for it. Bloodstained is one of those games where I'm kind of excited for it. It looks like Symphony of the Night, which I never actually played Symphony of the Night, so I don't really have any opinions on that game, so we don't know. But I am excited to look into that, and I'll probably pick it up easily. It looks like a good game, for all things considered. It looks really fun, but I don't know. It's a game. It's an indie game. What do you expect? It's an indie Metroidvania, and I'm excited for it. It's something that I'll be keeping an eye out for. Dragon Quest Builders 2 and Dragon Quest Echoes of an Elusive Age. Good for Dragon Quest fans. Don't really care that much. I looked into Dragon Quest Builders before, and it was okay. I don't know. Wasn't really my thing. I get why it's such a big deal, but again, doesn't really matter to me. Especially since, Dragon Age is a game that's like, it's coming to the Switch now, which is like cool, but at the same time, it's also like, I don't really care, because it's just another it's exposing me as the Nintendo fanboy. It's exposing me to these things a little bit more, and I'm okay with that. But it's just there's other games that on this list that I'm more excited for. Skipping over the next two, because it's just Tsum Tsum Festival and Starlink, which, Who cares? Rune Factory 4 and 5. Okay, this is the first actual game I'm like super excited for. Rune Factory is like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, and like it has all these different like things, but the main mechanic of it is like you tame monsters for your livestock instead, which it gives it this nice Pokemon element to it, which I'm super into. I fucking love Rune Factory. I adore it. It's like my favorite game that I got on my 3DS, and I used to play it all the time, but after I got a Switch, I just never touched it. Seeing that Rune Factory 4, which is the game that I started with, is coming to the Switch, it's nice. And then they also announced that Rune Factory 5 is going to be a big thing, so that's neat. It's in development, so I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to see. I hope that they make like an HD Rune Factory game. That's what I'm hoping for, because Rune Factory games were always like 3DS titles or something. I don't know. Like they're always like handheld games. I would really like to see a HD Rune Factory game be made. Oninaki, I don't remember that one. Also, I'm looking at a list that I found on Tumblr that lists all the games, so if I miss any games and they're not on this list, I'm sorry. My apologies. So, Oninaki, don't know what that one is. Yoshi's Crafted World, that one actually got a demo, I think, the day of the Direct, so you can go play that, which is nice. Not really excited for it. I looked at Yoshi's Epic Yarn, and it was cool, but I didn't really care. And it's the same thing with Yoshi's Crafted World. I just don't care. It's not a big deal to me. It's not super, like, crazy. And I don't care. I just don't care. Sorry, but whatever. Fire Emblem Three Houses looks like a great game. Looks like a great RTS game. They show a lot of footage, and that was cool. But I don't know. I don't know if I need to get into the Fire Emblem series in order to actually enjoy this game. I know that there's a lot of game series on this list that are probably like that. I know Rune Factory 4 is like, you don't have to. And I know that like looking at some of these other games like Dragon Quest Builders, you don't have to. You know, there's just a lot of like one-off games where it's like, you don't have to play the prior games to this. You can play other games. So that's nice. We're going to skip over Tetris 99 real quick, which is I want to give a really big discussion about that. That's a specific game that I want to discuss on a whole nother like thing, or probably at the end of this if I have enough time. But going through the list, Dead by Daylight was neat. It's been a game that's been out on Steam for like a while now, I think. So it's like, who really cares? But at the same time, it's also like, it's neat to see these games come onto the Switch and hopefully get new life and new people like to enjoy these games and play them. But there was a problem with this, and I want to talk about this because it actually bugs me. If you're showing off a game on these directs, you better make sure that like the gameplay is like as spot on and as like good and polished as it can be in these, because it really shows when it's not the case. Dead by Daylight has a problem where it was it almost looked like it was at a lower frame rate, and I don't know if that was because of either my video player being weird or my computer being weird or just something like, I don't know if that was just me, but it looked like the frame rate was lower. I could probably go back and look like later, but it just looked really bad. Same thing with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed, which I'm jumping ahead in this list, but Assassin's Creed 3 had a lower frame rate. And there's no excuse for that. These games have been out for a while now, I'm pretty sure. Like I don't know how long Dead by Daylight's been out. I'm pretty sure it's been out for like at least 2 years, probably. But Assassin's Creed 3 has been out for a long time, I'm pretty sure. Like probably since 360 era. So like there's no reason it should look bad, or not even look bad. It looks fine, but it's just the frame rate is slow and choppy, and it's like, why is that? It's weird. It's really weird. I don't get it. So yeah, going back to where I was at by Daylight. Deltarune. I knew it was going to come to Switch eventually. I wasn't sure if it was going to come out when all the chapters were released, though, or if it was going to come out when, like, or it was going to come out like earlier and then like later coincide with another release of the next chapter or something. Things like that. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'm glad that Deltarune got on Switch and that it's free. It's a free game to play on Switch. That's always good. That leads to like healthy consumer base. So that's nice. I like it. Really glad that it got ported onto Switch, especially since Undertale did pretty well on Switch too. It was on like top seller for like a good like month or so after it came out. It was really doing well. So the fact that Deltarune is now coming to Switch February 28th, I'm really excited. Really happy that that's the case. Especially since Deltarune is such a good game. It's just a pure upgrade from Undertale. Like, if you haven't played it, like, if you have a computer, go fucking download it. It's free. And you can also, like, just wait for it to come out on Switch. If you have a Switch, download it, play it on there. And yeah, I'll definitely be playing through it on Switch at least once, just to see if there's any, like, new things added to it. But yeah, Daemon X Machina did not give a shit, so I don't know. Grid Transport did not give a shit, so I don't know. Hellblade is actually a pretty big deal. It is, because it's crazy. Sippy. So, Hellblade is one of those games that I want to look into, because it just looks weird as hell, but at the same time, it's like, it astounds me. It is, like, really good, visually, and it's an indie title. It's an indie game that looks like a AAA title. That's crazy, and that's really good, and I think that Hellblade, if it runs well, because, you know, I don't always trust these direct, like, trailers 100% of the time. I always wait for the game to actually come out before I pass judgment. But if it looks as good as it does, like, normally, I will be very happy to see that, because that really proves how strong and how much power the Switch actually has as a gaming console. And I'd be really into that. So, that's nice. Mortal Kombat 11, it's a cool Mortal Kombat game. It's come out. That's neat. I'm okay with that. Unravel 2, thought that was a PS4 exclusive, so that's a little weird, but I guess maybe not. I don't know, it's weird. Final Fantasy 7 and 9, 9 actually came out today, or not today, yesterday, well, the 13th, so it's out now, so that's nice. I always like when a game comes out during a direct, like, release, where they, like, announce it that day. That's always fun. That's always really fun. So, but 7 and 9, like, it's crazy to me that Final Fantasy 7 is going to be on Switch. But, you know, it's really cool. It's really nice that these games are getting, like, a second chance on Switch and a second re-release on a Nintendo console, when some families probably never even touched Nintendo consoles, or Sony consoles, only Nintendo consoles. So what would happen is, now there's a whole new, like, brand that's being shown off to these people. And I know that Final Fantasy games were on the NES originally, you know, like, or the Super Nintendo, something like that. You know, there's always been those games out there. Like, I think, like, 1 through 6 were all on Nintendo platforms, and then 7 was the one where it went to Sony. And that's cool, but, you know, it is what it is. Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, a game that I'm super excited for because I love roguelike and mystery dungeon games. They're very good. I really like that. It's always fun to see that kind of shit come out, and especially since mystery dungeons are kind of a neglected genre. Like, I just love the dungeon crawling aspect. It's just really fun. So, going down, Astral Chain. Astral Chain is a game that's being developed by Platinum Games, which when I saw that, I was kind of sad, because it's like, oh no, Astral Chain, but Bayonetta. And then they brought up Bayonetta, and I'm like, okay, so they're still working on Bayonetta, but I don't know. Astral Chain, like, looks really cool. I think it looks nice as a game. It looks really visually nice, and it also, like, looks like it's going to be fucking crazy. I really want to see how it plays, because it looks like you're almost controlling 2 separate characters at the same time. At times, which is really cool. I really like that. I really like it when games do that whole, they make it so that you control multiple characters at once, because it becomes, like, it turns into more of like an intense experience when you're like dealing with multiple characters. And also just like I like micromanaging characters as well. It's always fun. So yeah, Astral Chain is really cool. They talked about Bayonetta 3 a little bit, and that's going to be released. And that's all cool and fine and dandy. Really excited for that. Really excited for Bayonetta 3. Fucking wish it would get some actual footage out soon, because I'm trying to hold my excitement. I played through Bayonetta 1. Gonna beat Bayonetta 2 pretty soon. And I can't wait for Bayonetta 3. It's gonna be awesome. And then they ended with a trailer for Link's Awakening, which is interesting choice. Not to sound like a snob or anything, but I just think that like out of all the games that they could have done, like granted Link's Awakening is a good game, I just didn't expect a game like that to get remade. But it's, a game that's old enough to where a lot of people haven't played it, and if they sell it for cheap enough, like I would pay for it if it was like maybe $20 to $30. Like that'd be neat. I'd be into it. I'd probably pick it up for a first time playthrough because I never played Link's Awakening, and I think that's cool, and I like top-down Zeldas a lot more than 3D Zeldas. So seeing that just made me like kind of really excited that they're remaking these games, and hopefully they'll do the Oracle games too, because I think that would be really good for just everything in general, just their releases and whatnot. So yeah. But, now that we got all the titles that we're done with, that I basically went through every title that was announced and gave my opinions on it. I want to talk about what didn't get announced, because that's really important too. Oh wait, no, I didn't talk about Tetris 99 yet. I'll say that for a whole nother video. Like, that'll be the next podcast. Probably, if I do another one, I don't know. But, so, what didn't get announced? Well, first off, Pokemon Gen 8 didn't get announced at all, which is kind of sad. I don't know, like, I don't even know what gen we're on. I think we're on Gen 7, because, let's see, fucking Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, fuck, I don't know, there's a lot. Like, Sinnoh, Black and White, X and Y. Yeah, we're on 7. So Pokemon Gen 8 should be coming out next. Unless they do another Gen 7 game, which I'm totally fine with. If they do another, like, remake sort of game where it's like, I don't know, they remake Diamond and Pearl on the Switch. That would be cool. That would be a really cool idea. But overall, it's like, I don't know. I don't really know why they didn't, like, even, like, tease a little bit of Pokemon stuff. Like, they should have. They really should have. Because Pokemon is a really important series. It really is. And it's a really important, like, franchise for Nintendo. So, announcing it, like, now would have been good. Because then, like, all through, like, spring, like, they could have left, like, dumped little snippets out. And then, like, imagine, like, during summer, they just do, like, this whole, like, E3 presentation, and, like, September, they release the game or something. Even though there'd probably be a holiday release, so who knows, but whatever. But, like, Pokemon should have at least gotten, like, a title drop by now. So that's what makes it really weird. And that makes it, like, it's really weird to me that they didn't drop anything. But, who knows? Maybe they're really working hard at it, or maybe they're not even working on it, and this is all just a big dumb rumor that somebody made, and we all believe it. So, yeah. Going on to that. Oh, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing didn't get anything announced, which we already have, like, we already know it's in the works, so it's like, who cares? Take however long you need. Animal Crossing is not that big of a deal to me, but also, I think that they should have released some announcement for it, like some sort of footage or anything, really. Like, the title of it, like, it's just Animal Crossing 2019 at this point. So, I don't know, that's weird, because Animal Crossing is one of those games that I think that if they released it on the Switch, just boom, the Switch would just explode in sales. because that's such a casual friendly game, and everyone would play it. Like it's such a casual friendly game. And Nintendo already has like that, like anyone can play our game sort of vibe to it. But there's a weird thing about Animal Crossing where its demographics are like 50-50, which is really weird. You know, really weird. And it just kind of surprises me. But yeah, so, and it just like blows up I honestly think that Animal Crossing New Leaf like sold the 3DS to a lot of people because it's just such a good game. It's so inclusive to everyone, and I think that out of anything, like they could have at least shown off a little bit of it. But hey, you know, it is what it is. You can't really be mad about it because they are working on it. They have released the information that they are in fact working on it. Yeah, so then I was going to talk about Metroid Prime 4, but Metroid Prime 4 has been cut, which is pretty bad. Like, not cut, but like it's all of its like data or whatever, or all the work that they've been doing on it has been sort of fucked. So they have to restart from scratch, and that's crazy. So we're probably not going to see that for another like 3 or 4 years. So I wouldn't even expect anything from Metroid Prime until like 2023, which is crazy to think about. But you know, it sucks. It sucks, but you know, whatever. It happens. You know, games get canceled all the time. It's not a big deal. It doesn't really bug me as much as it does, like, say, my brother. My brother's very upset about it. He was very upset about it. And very bummed out, but I don't know. It was cool. Like, it was cool to see that they at least were open about it and didn't, like, just try and hide all this in the background. But yeah. Going on from that, let's talk about... Luigi's Mansion. I almost forgot about that, because Luigi's Mansion is weird. It doesn't have any, it wasn't talked about at all. And that was, like, kind of surprising, like, to me. Because, okay, like, I see these games as in, like, their own tiers, where it's like, Pokemon is, like, a big name title. I get why they would save that for E3. And they, like, it's, like, a whole new revamped Pokemon game. It's like the new Yokai Watch game type thing, where it's, like, it's actually, like, they've completely changed everything. I think that would be really cool, and I'd really like that a lot. That being said, I really, really like the idea of, say, like this game being announced at E3 and getting all this like footage shown off for it, because that would be cool. I always like seeing Pokemon like getting like a big like part in E3, and that would like help them a lot. Animal Crossing, again, is not that big of a game, but I could see why they would hold it off for E3, because it's not like Smash Brothers, I would say, or it's not like all these other games that I've been talking about, because Animal Crossing is very casual. So because it's so casual, like it being at E3 would be a little weird. However, I think that seeing it at E3 would be a good thing, because E3 is just a big, like, dick measuring contest between all the big companies. That's all it is. It's them showing off their new tech and basically being like, ha, our tech is the best. Buy our shit. Give us money, investors. And it is all for the investors. That's all it is. And you can really tell by, like, the gamer talk that they use, where it's just like, now you can, like, you could ride a horse and Zelda, I don't know, some things like that. You know the type of talk that they do, and they like oh my god, when Bethesda did their whole thing where it's like it has 16 times the graphics for Fallout 76, and they were full of shit. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, no, that's pretty bullshit, and that's all it is. It's just like them trying to like make the prettiest trailer and then release it, and then it's big. It's a big deal. But the reason why I think Animal Crossing could be held off until either spring, like a spring direct, So, like, maybe in April or March, maybe. But if they do that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they hold it until June for the E3 Direct, because the E3 is E3 would allow them to sort of like show it off to investors and be like, hey, we have this really casual game, a lot of people like it, we're going to sell this and people are going to buy into it, and it's going to increase our install base by a large amount. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like saving it for that reason. So yeah, that's nice. That's neat. I'm into it. I'm into waiting for Animal Crossing. But the weird one is Luigi's Mansion. Because Luigi's Mansion isn't that big of a game. It's a very niche game. And I know a lot of people are going to get really pissed off at me for saying this, but I think that Luigi's Mansion is one of the most niche games out there, and it really, really doesn't deserve a spot in E3. Granted, having like diversity in E3 would be cool because, you know, it's like Nintendo always has this problem where they show off one game pretty heavily during E3. Like, last year, it was Smash Brothers. It was all just Smash Brothers. And that's fine. But it just sucked that there wasn't more there. You know? Like, it felt like there wasn't enough there. And they kind of didn't have all their things all set up. You know, they had, like, Pokemon Let's Go, I think, a little bit, which was, like, cool, I guess. But nobody really cared. It was whatever. I don't know. I prefer the whole having a diverse direct. But Luigi's Mansion is so niche and so just like, you know, like there's a lot of fans of it. I'm not going to say that there's not, but it's just such a smaller scale game. It's just not like, it's for very specific people who played this very specific game. And I don't think it's going to be a real system seller. It might be, but I don't think it's going to be, just because it's so out there. It's just so out there, you know? And it'd be like if they, like, announced Kid Icarus Uprising 2 or something, and then they didn't show anything until E3. Like, don't get me wrong, love Kid Icarus Uprising, but I don't think it has the same like amount of people that give a shit about it as, say, like Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing everyone loves, and Pokemon again is a really big game everybody loves, so of course they want to save it for E3. So yeah, and it's just weird that so many of these games got delayed and just, you know, weren't even on, like they weren't even talked about a little bit. The only thing that was, like, big that people were, like, really hoping for was Bayonetta 3, and they talked about that a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it got spoken of a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal. It just wasn't, like, any new footage. It was just, hey, we are working on this game, do not worry. And that doesn't really reassure me, because when I watch these directs, I want to see footage of a game to ensure me that, hey, this is looking good. This game is coming out and it's going to be super good. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, if it doesn't have, like, any footage, it kind of makes me nervous because it becomes a thing of, like, oh no, this is going to get delayed super hard, isn't it? Or, oh no, this is, like, they deleted the source code on accident, like in Metroid Prime. But, yeah, no, it's, like, shit like that that makes it fucking a big deal to me. And now, Tetris 99. Let's talk about that, because that's the last thing I want to talk about. And then I'll talk about, like, say, hey, you know, nice time. But, actually, no. We're going to talk about Tetris 99 next podcast thing. So I hope that you all enjoyed this. Sorry that I haven't been uploading as much lately. I've been hit by the polar vortex pretty fucking hard. I went from having literally no snow, like my yard was just a bunch of brown grass. It went from having no snow at all to our satellite for our internet is covered all the time with like 5 inches of snow. It's like crazy how much snow we got, and it's insane. Like, our internet is going to fucking hell. It is awful. It is the worst. I hate it. So, because we have no internet basically at all, it just kind of sucks because it makes it hard to upload, because some of my videos take upwards of a couple hours to upload normally because the internet is slow now because of all the snow and the polar vortex hitting us. It just has made using the internet a slog. I cannot even do anything half the time because I don't have internet. My internet is basically out for most of the time, so it becomes this hassle of how do I upload these videos when I can't do anything. I can't do it. I just can't. It won't let me. So it is what it is. It's cool. It's whatever. I don't really care that much about the whole I can work around it, but it's just made uploading really hard. On top of that, I also have been going to the dentist a lot recently, and really hardcore dentist shit. I got had 2 teeth pulled, which is awful, agony. Oh my god, hurt like a bitch. Those were ticking time bombs too, because yikes, those were bad. They were so far back. They were wisdom teeth, and so they were so far back that they were rotting out because I couldn't actually get to them properly, and food would just get stuck in them somehow, and so they just rotted and turned into these little ticking time bombs. And they're yeah, we want to get these out as soon as possible, so they just yanked them out, and it hurt like a bitch. And extractions are always the worst. I had a filling too. I'm gonna be getting more dental work done. Have to get 2 more wisdom teeth pulled. They couldn't do them all at once because one of them they're just gonna do the 2 bottom ones together because that way reasons. But basically I have a lot of shit going on in my mouth, and I have to kind of deal with it properly, and it hurts. It feels like hell. I am in agony a lot. It hurts. It was so bad that I couldn't even chew food. I remember I was out with my friends, and I got 2 family meals of cheese curds, and normally I could eat that shit, but I would eat it. I would chew on it, and I chewed on it, and I would bite down, and it hurt like a motherfucker, like a real motherfucker, because my teeth got fucked, and I just couldn't do it. So now I have to do all this shit now, and it's not fun, but it is what it is. Gotta do it. And it's made it kind of hard to record because even now, as I'm talking, it hurts this tooth that was pretty bad, and I was kind of ignoring because I was I don't want to go to the dentist because dentists scare me. But yeah. Lesson learned, don't put off going to the dentist. Go as soon as you notice a cavity, because you'll regret it. Trust me, you really will. Yeah, so with that being said, hope you all watch the videos, the Let's Plays I'm going to be doing now. I plan on doing this cast thing, I don't know, we'll call it a discussion video for right now, but I'll be doing these probably every Saturday now, because I want something to look forward to uploading on Saturday and discussing. This is just going to be uploaded on a random day, probably Friday, so yeah, but I'll be doing these as much as possible when I can. Yeah, see you then in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. We've bled a subscriber, which, I guess that sucks. It does, because it makes me sad, because it's no, I'm trying to upload, but I just can't. And yeah, it could be a YouTube thing too. So just remember to subscribe, share me with friends, because I'm sure that somebody will get a kick out of me. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.